All right, what up? Christy Aphrodite here. And Thor, can't see him though. I want to talk about subtle soul traps because, I mean, there's so many obvious ones, right? That, you know, we could talk about till we're blue in the face. Say politics, identity politics, you know, drugs, alcohol, pills, you know. All right, we know about that. But the subtle ones are the more difficult ones to break free from, and they're the ones that we have the most excuses why we can't, right? So I just want to say, basically, a soul trap is anything that keeps you from your soul path. So, and there are easy ways to give away pieces of our soul, right? So to put it simply, anytime you say yes when you really mean no, right? So whether it's peer pressure or doing something for someone when you haven't taken care of yourself, or taking a job or paycheck, or, you know, any time you say yes when you really mean no, you're giving away a piece of your soul, and that gets us into these entanglements. I call them soul traps. So I've already mentioned some of the super easy ones to identify, right? So distractions, and really, again, I'll break it down super simple. Your path is always to follow your heart, your soul purpose, period. So every single distraction is a soul trap. Now, that being said, your job, your purpose is to follow your heart, your soul's path. Their job, and they are the people, the distractors, right? Their job is to trip you up and keep you from it. So how many times, whether it's just a cell phone or a news video or something like that, you know you're supposed to be doing something else, but you want to get caught in that, or neighborhood gossip, or whatever, right? Those are all little cleverly designed soul traps. And where it gets more difficult is when it's like your family, right? Your flesh and blood. And we use those things as a lot. The most common excuse we use to say not follow our heart is, oh, I can't because I have to take care of so-and-so, or I can't because I could never leave so-and-so, or my sweet little grandma, you know, wants me here. And here's the truth about that. If your sweet little grandma loves you, she wants you following your heart, right? Same with your parents, same with your children, same with your work partners, or anyone that has your best interest at heart, right? So these soul traps that we fall into, whether it is, you know, our loved ones. I mean, let's be honest. How many times have you made the excuse that you can't do something because so-and-so else? And obviously we have these soul contracts, and in certain cases, right, we're supposed to take care of our family. But there are also certain cases where it's not, we use it as an excuse to not follow our heart's path, right? So, like, the biggest one that we fall into is the comfort zone. And, you know, we're all looking for comfort, right? And then some people, like, they find it and then they die. And I don't mean die like physically, I mean like they're so comfortable they don't ever feel the need to improve themselves or their lives in any way, or learn something different, or whatever. That comfort zone could be, you know, just a job. You don't really like it, but it gives you the money to pay the bills, so why rock the boat, right? So relationships, right? Well, you know, he or she isn't perfect, but it's a couch to sleep on. Or whatever excuse people use, right? These are soul traps that are designed cleverly to, again, keep you from following your heart, keep you from following your soul path. But that is the whole reason for our existence. So are you saying yes when you really mean no? Are you putting things off that you know you should be doing because, oh, well, my phone rang again, or my favorite YouTuber, or this news thing? Like, let me tell you, caring about what the Kardashians did, that's a soul trap. Any time where you are convinced you need to care about somebody else's life, especially some frickin' stranger, you know what I'm saying? If you want to care about somebody's lives, care about your loved ones, care about your immediate surroundings, care about your neighbors. Go mow their lawn, or go say, hey, what up? Here's some nice fresh soup. Or, you know what I mean? Like, right? So, and even caring about world affairs. Like, putting our energy, paying our attention. What are we paying with? We're paying with our time, we're paying with our energy, we're paying with our soul, right? When you put your attention somewhere, and we don't have to get into the fact that we're also helping create it into existence, right? So all of these entities that we want to fight, you become what you fight. I know you've heard that somewhere, right? So you can't, there's a difference between taking a stand and not compromising than fighting against something, right? So what are you fighting for? Like, I know people that were like Trump haters, and they would spend so much time on that, and I'd be like, okay, so what is it you hate about him? Well, he's taking food from poor people and senior citizens. So I'm like, rather than spend your energy hating on him or some people you think voted for him, why don't you go feed those senior citizens? Or feed those children in your neighborhood, right? And think about it, like, we'll watch these commercials and like feel like we have to take care of people in the Philippines or Africa or whatever, while we have starving people in our own damn neighborhood. You know what I mean? That's a soul trap. It's a distraction. Anything that keeps you from your center, anything that keeps you believing something else is more powerful than you, or more important than you, or again, anything that takes you off your course, okay? So, yes, sometimes it comes in the way of your sweet little grandma or your family member, right? But not all relationships are meant to last forever and ever and ever. And then you can argue, well, I could just give, this person 20 years. No, come on, let's be honest. If you're doing it because that's your path and you love it, then that's your purpose. But if you're one of those people complaining about it all the time and using it as an excuse to stay away from your own self-work, right? For being responsible for yourself and your own healing, then that's a soul trap, okay? So I'm not saying anyone who takes care of their family is in a soul trap, right? But that is a super common one that I cannot ignore. Here's another one. Why do we care? Do you ever notice that people who are, say, hated on by jerks or whatever, whether it's the bully in school or in the workplace, the mean girls or whatever, everyone's trying to be nice to the mean person. What? Like, why? Why do you want to play nice with vampires? Why do you care what they think? Who cares they have more subscribers or more they hang out with the cool crowd or whatever. If the cool crowd is full of vampires, how cool is it really, right? So, that is a huge soul trap that we get into, trying to please everyone and trying to play nice with vampires and trying to make mean people be nice. Dude, let people be who they are. Not everyone's gonna like you. You're not gonna like everyone, and it's okay. If you want to try to make someone else be nice to you, what's wrong with you? Why are you trying to control them, right? Don't you just want, say, a snake to be a snake and wear his snake clothes, or have a vampire wear his vampire clothes? And here's the problem. They don't do that all the time, right? So a lot of times, especially if you are stuck, say, in a soul trap, these people aren't knocking on your door and trying to beat you up. They're not like saying, hey dude, let's take it outside, right? Because then you're gonna know that, oh, this person wants to fight and they might not have my best interest, right? So obviously you're gonna avoid them. And that's why the soul traps sometimes are so clever and subtle, because they are your family, they are your friends, they are your coworkers, your neighbors, these people that, you know, you have connections with, even if it's through other people. So you feel an obligation, right? Obligation, that's a big one. Everything you do should be because you want to do it from your heart. Never because it's a dreaded obligation, right? Because again, that's when we give away pieces of our soul, and where a little soul retrieval might be necessary, okay? So again, every time we say yes, when we really mean no, fall for peer pressure, things like that, like we might be able to keep up a strong face, we might be able to smile or laugh or pretend in front of other people that don't care that we got it together. But let's face it, we can't lie to our body. Our parasympathetic nerve system always picks up on that. And let me tell you something, and I've talked about this more extensively, and maybe I'll do it again in the future, but autoimmune disease, all I have to say, get out of your toxic environment and then let's talk and tell me how much trouble you're having walking, okay? All that means really is you're psychic. You've been poisoned by toxins and toxic people. And all you have to do is remove them. Those rashes will go away. Those pains will go away. I'm telling you. So I don't care what you're, you know, like in my situation when I went home, I could have slept on a couch or sold out to somebody trying to harvest my energy, or those offers were there. I chose homelessness and building my own shelter and living in a car and a moldy shed and a tent for a reason, because at least I owned myself and my own energies, and I was responsible for, you know, there was no one else to blame. And that's a soul trap again too, right? The blame game, where we want to blame everyone else or anyone else at all for whatever our circumstances are. Like, caring about politicians, like, come on, really? It's like a cartoon show, and it's not even funny. It's put there to try to hook you in and get you to pay attention to them. Hey, look over here. Instead of focusing on what you know, right? Focusing on your own healing. Because if your healing or your happiness depends on what some other politician or celebrity or whatever is doing, you might want to reconsider what your actual purpose for being here is. And I guarantee, like, there's nobody that lives a life hating politicians that lives a happy, healthy life. And I'll just leave it at that. So if you are still here, thank you so much for being here. Christy Aphrodite at ClearSightConsulting.net. And yeah, so just to simplify it again, your purpose is to follow your heart's path. What makes your heart sing? Their purpose is to trip you up and get you off that path, right? So don't fight the tests, don't fight the people, just go the other way and stay in your own lane, right? Your own lane, your own heart lane, your own heart path, your own soul path. That stuff out there does not matter. What matters is right here, your own healing, your own path, and thank you so much for being here. Have a good day.